Welcome back, everybody, to the Problematic Podcast. I'm your friendly, bothered neighborhood co-host Rita with my friendliest, favoritist co-host Whitney.
Why are we bothered?
Why we bothered? Because we might have a felon for a president in a few days.
Don't say that.
But
Don't say that.
I've seen the numbers. But we'll get into that in another segment before we start screaming and shaking our fist at the sky. What have you been listening to? There's a lot of music out there. Everybody dropping at the same time.
I'm gonna be honest. I've been back in my Stevie Wonder bag.
Okay.
So I'm listening to like a bunch of like songs that I can sing at the top of my lungs that my child now knows, which is great.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Her favorite is My Sherry Moore. And she just comes out of nowhere. La la la.
Raising her right. I love it. You are raising her right. Doing the things.
Yeah. Also I want to we're not yelling at people yet, but I want to raise my fist and my middle finger to Apple for that bullshit ass list, because any album before a Stevie Wonder album
is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. I haven't even seen the top 10, but I heard number one was Lauryn Hill. I heard number 5 was Frank Ocean's Blonde. But like number 95 or 96 was Usher's Confessions. And
ain't no way.
If you think
ain't no way.
Y'all have heard me on this podcast more than once beg and plead Frank Ocean for new music. I yell at him every quarter.
We love Frank.
He's given us nothing. But if you think Blonde was a better album than Usher's Confessions, there's something wrong with you, and your mama raised you wrong. And we can fight about it. We can fight about it.
It all depends on who's in the room and who's making the decisions, obviously. But
clearly,
Stevie the Wonder, the man who plays piano blind.
Yes.
That man?
Yes.
Are you okay? Like, are y'all right? Like,
arguably one of the greatest composers / singers of our time, anybody's time. Like, not only does he compose great music, like actually create the notes, play the music, but he sings also. And he's blind. Like, not that his disability has anything to do with it, but I mean, I am a seeing person and I can't do none of that.
No,
but
not one thing.
I don't understand.
At all.
When somebody said that there isn't a single Whitney Houston album on that album,
malarkey.
I'm like, so you take one of the greatest best-selling pop / R&B albums of all time, but it doesn't make the list. So like everybody else got it wrong. The whole world got it wrong.
All the rest of us.
Like you said, malarkey.
What you been listening to?
Okay, so.
Oh, you have a list.
Yes and no. So there's a new Shabuzi album out, but I haven't listened to it yet. And that's me being fair, but I'm going to take the time this week to add it to like my workout playlist, my walking playlist, and listen to it. But Glorilla and Meg dropped a song a few weeks ago called Wannabe. And I, me being the musical genius that I claim to be in my head when I'm by myself, was like, you know what this song needs? A remix with Cardi B. I said that when I first heard the song a month ago.
Getting the things that you want.
Baby, the universe and I have aligned to give the girls the summer anthems that they need. And we got the Wannabe remix. Whitney, have you heard it?
I have not heard the remix.
Aren't you going on a vacation soon?
Like in a few weeks, yes.
Okay, girl.
I need to play this song.
Here's what I need from you. I need you to start composing your Bad Bitch Outside playlist. And it ain't gonna be Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder.
I'm going to be really honest. I'm going to sleep. I am literally just going for 5 days. A very expensive sleep. People don't
Mm-mm.
even understand. My mom and
No.
sisters are gonna be so disappointed. They're like, Whitney, all you do is swim, eat, and go to sleep. I'm like, yes, you don't understand. It's just you don't understand.
I need you to throw a little bit of ass, just a little bit, not too much, but I need you to have your thigh meat out. I've seen that your thigh meat been out
It been out
lately.
already.
Your thigh meat is
Yeah.
out. If y'all don't follow Whitney, you need to follow Whitney. There's thigh meat out, but I
There is
need you to
thigh
let
meat.
I need you to let your thigh meat out, the top thigh meat, not the lower thigh meat, and throw a little bit of ass. And I need you to add this song to your playlist. Just
Lord.
have it, just play it in the morning before you go to the pool. When you get your first pina colada, the one to be it's the girls talking, they talk. And you know, we
That's good.
deserve
And
we
that's
just
good.
I love
Listen, I am a full on Meg Thee Stallion like supporter, you know. I am a supporter. So, but
when
it's just not my cup of tea.
Cardi said toes her toes are all white like Matthew McConaughey. Like
Well,
I mean
wow.
come
All right,
on.
I'm gonna listen to it.
Thank you.
Now I'm
Please.
gonna go listen to it.
I not really want you to have your thighs out playlist for when you go. Where you guys going? Barbados?
Barbados.
Yeah, I I don't know your line sisters. I haven't met those
They're
lovely
wonderful humans.
ladies. I expect to see footage
Not
and
footage. You will not
photos.
see footage.
I expect to see footage and
If I'm
photos, or I'm going to
offline for a
be
full week, y'all know what
no,
happened. Y'all know where I am.
no.
I'm not
Give the
sharing
people what they
shit.
want to see.
That's what the group chat is for.
Can
So
I
you
get?
will see it. It's just
Can I
won't
be
be in
put
public.
in the group chat? Can I be
Huh?
the surveyor of the group chat? No, I
You
can't
were in
be
the
the
group
person.
chat.
Okay, fantastic. I'm just making sure that
The
I get
hell?
to. All right, I,
No,
I I want the exclusive group
for sure.
chat
Yes,
access.
you are in the group chat.
Okay,
Yes.
fantastic, wonderful. I love
So
that for
silly.
me. Uh, we gotta talk about things.
I don't want to.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the soft launch. I want to say shout out to the astrology girlies.
The girls with the rocks by the windows.
Yeah,
Yes.
the
Good
girls with
job,
the
y'all. Good job, y'all, with the
y'all
moon
called it
water.
at the beginning of before we even started the year. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
said this is a year of karma. This is a year of retribution, a year of get back. This is a
Uh-oh.
year where the people will be held accountable. And when y'all said that, I was like, have y'all been watching what's been going on outside? I don't believe y'all.
The pull-up that
The,
Carla just did
baby.
was
Oh,
like,
I mean, Karma is snatching everybody by their lace fronts
yeah,
and their eyelashes.
yeah,
And from
yeah.
from Cat Williams coming out and saying,
Ah,
y'all got hell to pay, and the astrology girlies, y'all ain't missed yet because I see what's going on with
every month.
the diddler. I see what's happening
The
right now.
diddler.
The diddler.
No,
The,
Marita.
oh, I can't say that. I'm sorry. Oh,
Marita.
okay, fine. I apologize.
Oh,
Y'all
you
see
don't
what's
have to
happening?
apologize.
Uh,
Oh, oh, God.
Whitney,
Yes.
your former president,
Ain't mine. Mm-mm.
Donald Jamaricus Trump,
I told you, I am from Wakanda. By way of Zamunda. I am, mm-mm.
is now a convicted felon.
Whole ass convicted felon. This
This
is tacky.
man got more felonies than I have years on this planet. Um, he really racked them up.
Racked him up fast.
I will say that on Thursday they delivered a verdict in his hush money trial, and he was convicted on all 34 counts.
Oh,
And that
34.
angry tangerine was pissed,
Pissed.
baby. Did you
Pissed.
see him when he came out the courtroom?
No, was it great?
It
Was it
was.
great?
It was. Oh, he was frowning. He was like, "This is a sham. This is a setup. It's a mockery.
It's a
You've been
sham.
bamboozled." He's wait before the liberation. He went to court and said Mother Teresa couldn't beat these charges, and I'm like, "Sir, leave Mother Teresa out of it because Mother Teresa
Right.
was not having sex with porn stars and then
Well,
paying them
well,
for it. That
well,
how she get in it?"
she ain't. She did not. She did not. No. And he was trying to compare himself to Nelson Mandela. And I would like to remind everybody that the reason why Nelson Mandela was locked up was because he was advocating for human rights. Trump was literally fucking a porn star and trying to like hide it.
Being a philandering whore.
Wasn't his wife pregnant?
Yes, she was.
So you mean to tell me you got a three-time baby mama,
Oh God.
twice impeached,
Yes.
now the first president to ever have felony charges,
Yep.
and this man is still on y'all's ballot, and y'all are
Yep.
not embarrassed.
No.
Y'all are not humiliated.
No.
Y'all y'all tried to paint Barack Hussein Obama as the devil for wearing a tan motherfucking suit. Y'all tried to act like he was Lucifer incarnate for trying to give poor people health care. Y'all acted like Barack just existing and not needing to respond to haters about his birth certificate was like the lie of all lies, the biggest lie that was ever told. Do you know how embarrassing this is? Do you know that we are literally we have to be reality TV to the other nations at this point.
We are.
They have to just pull up and like call their girlfriends. Girl, we gonna watch American news tonight. What you bringing? I'm bringing the snacks. What you bringing? I'm bringing the wine. Like,
It's
are
so
you kidding?
it's so ghetto.
This
It's
is so
like Love
tacky.
and Hip Hop, the White House edition. Like, why?
Tacky, 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 tacky. Y'all need to get it together. Don't tell me nothing about no family values.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it. And
I don't want to hear him saying
I
2
bet you,
Corinthians.
no, not two Corinthians ever again. Not two or Corinthians. Because, sir, you ain't read that Bible ever, ever. Because that's like a basic thing that one would understand. Two
Ooh, 2
Corinthians,
Corinthians.
two of
Mhm.
them. I lost my point. Yeah, no, this is a mess.
It's a hot tacky mess.
A
And for
hot,
everyone
nasty
out
mess.
there, the jokes have been flying. Because
Oh,
like Whitney
girl.
said, the man
Oh,
got 3
girl.
baby mamas and 34
Three of them.
felonies. The shit, this just right the reality TV of it all really just writes itself.
You know who only got one baby mama that he married to?
Barack.
Barack. Hmm.
Burying them. Mish
Burying them.
burying them.
Yeah.
I
It's about to be a whole lot of people interested in abolition and like felons'
Because
rights.
now all of a sudden
Hmm.
there's this conversation around why felons can't vote. Now,
Uh-huh.
all of a
Now,
sudden, felons ain't been
now.
able to vote.
Can't even get a damn job at McDonald's.
But now all of a sudden, girl, I'm worn out. Oh, and
Hmm.
like I don't even think we've really had the opportunity to dive into the discourse because he's only been a felon for the weekend. Like it's his first weekend
Hmm.
outside.
And, and a lot of us are getting ready for Pride, so
Yeah, come on, somebody. Happy Pride to
I was
to
gonna
those who
remember.
celebrate.
Yes, I got
Um,
my fan. I'm ready to clack it. I
but
do.
we are really going to have a conversation about the ability in this country to run for president as a felon but not be able to vote for one. Like somebody missed the mark when when y'all were setting up the rules. You didn't do it right. Like either
Y'all didn't finish. There was other stuff back there that needed to be done. It's like
it's
when I asked my daughter to clean up her toys and she like cleans up like one little area and it's like spotless. It's beautiful. And you look back and there's just like a pile.
I ain't get around to that yet.
You need to go get that pile back there.
And I understand it because I as a normal thinking person can say that we've never really had to bump up against this. Maybe with Nixon, granted I wasn't there, I ain't that
To
old.
be
But
fair,
he was
he had some
pardoned.
shame.
So he had federal charges so he could be pardoned. These are state charges. You can't make them go away. And we've never had to address our presidents being
Never,
felons.
never.
So there's this gap. I I've been saying not to dig too much into my political strategy bag.
Dig.
I'm saying that it's a horrible idea for Joe Biden in his frailty in his old age to have a debate with Donald Trump so early in the election year. They're having a debate this month in June. I think the
Mm-mm,
27th or something. And I'm like, why would
mm-mm.
he,
Why would you do that?
having his mental lapses and his memory, and that's not to
He's
say
old.
he's old. Older people have
He's just an
memory gaps.
old person. This is what happens when you get old, y'all.
I have been saying since they announced that this is a bad idea. Don't do it this early. Don't give Trump an advantage. But
No.
on the flip side of that, baby,
And even show up.
the way I would drop felon every 15
Felon.
other words, I,
Felon.
the
At least
jokes
34 times.
uh, the jokes just write themselves. I
At least
cannot
34.
believe we have to actually put up with this shit. Like, it was bad enough that we had to actually take a reality TV star, a former WWF wrestler guest, seriously as a politician, and then you motherfuckers actually elected him. But now we gotta have the three-time baby daddy, convicted felon
Yeah. Yeah.
slash
Yeah.
reality star slash
Hmm.
WWF slash
Yeah.
WWE
Yeah.
wrestler actually
Yeah.
run and have a serious debate with another
Yeah.
old man? Who picked Whitney?
This is the worst timeline by far. By far the worst timeline. Like we need to unplug the simulation and put it in rice because
Please hit
this
the
is
reset button.
obscene. Obscene.
Control Alt Delete Task Manager. Shut this shit
We
down.
need to start over. Like what is going on here? This is a mess.
The
A mess.
Republican convention is going to start 4 days after his sentencing.
Ooh, I hope he gets a good one. I don't even know if he's gonna get a good one. But I've heard tell
Oh,
that this
okay.
case was actually the weakest case against him.
It, it and
I heard
was.
that this joint right here, this was light. This was supposed to be light work. So you mean to tell me in the other three trials,
Because he got three more.
three
This nigga
more?
gonna have 100 convictions by the time we
If y'all
done
don't
this.
lock his ass up, lock him up. Lock him up. Y'all got so mad about Hillary's emails, and then you have an actual fucking felon,
An actual felon.
an actual felon.
I hope Hillary Clinton is having a fantastic day. I hope that she's
Oh,
sitting up with her
she was speaking
grandbabies.
somewhere.
Yeah,
She
she
was speaking
was. She
somewhere.
was like, anything happening in the news, guys? And the crowd burst into laughter. And they
Oh my
should.
gosh.
Because I was angry for Hillary Clinton, whether you agreed with her or her politics or not.
Mm-hmm.
You are a lying, whittled kneed idiot if you believe that as a politician, just politician to politician, that Donald Trump was a more qualified candidate and had
Ain't
a
no way.
better
Ain't
political
no way.
resume than
Nope.
Hillary Clinton.
Not at all.
You're lying to yourself if you believe
And
those
everybody else.
resumes even stack up against each other. Whether you liked her or not, or would have hated her politics or didn't want to vote for her, I don't give a fuck about that. But if you put WWE wrestler, reality star
Apprentice.
host,
Mm-hmm.
19 bankruptcies up against United States state senator, creating the chip program,
Mm-hmm.
Secretary of State, you line those things up against each other. If you think she was the worst candidate, fine. But to see her be vindicated
Mm-hmm.
after y'all
So well.
lock her up. But when you went out in public and
Mm-hmm.
asked people, like people were like, I think Hillary Clinton, I'll never forget this. I was in Georgia at a Waffle House. People were saying, I think Hillary Clinton should be locked up. And I was like, on what charges?
Right.
And I got no fucking answer after 20
Right.
minutes of him and Hall. So let's circle back on what charges should she be locked up?
Right.
She's not right for America. That's not a
Why
charge.
is that?
My black ass isn't right for America.
So many of us are not right for
What
America.
for y'all to not understand what happened in Benghazi, and for set to say that y'all wanted her to be locked up for emails was just
Obscene.
a dumb hot button topic.
Obscene.
To see her watch him be convicted of actual felonies that really exist,
Actual ones. Actual
hilarious.
crimes, y'all. Actual
Hillary, I
crimes.
hope that you're having a wonderful day. You deserve,
Hmm.
girl.
I hope all the lock them up people. I already saw people crying on TikTok, so this has just been like a lovely foray into.
Is outside even really happening? Like, is this our real life, Whitney?
I mean, girl, we gonna celebrate no matter what. You know, black
Yeah,
people gonna
that's true.
find a way to have joy.
That's true.
We will find a way to have joy. We will find a way to have a good time, and then we'll look back and be like, "Woo, that was a doozy. How did we make it over?"
Well, why is this election even happening?
Yeah, I feel like we should just like take some time to ourselves, just like I'm not really ready to date another president again. Like I'm just really not. Like let's just work on us.
Can we
Let's just
take
work
a
on
break
who
and
we
let's
are.
see what we
You
can do
know,
interpersonally as a nation,
yeah. Maybe go to
working on
therapy,
ourselves?
like do some like working out, eat healthier, get our skincare routine together, like start saving some money. Like, yeah,
Right.
let's
Because listen, America is in debt, baby. In debt. The fact that we are like $30 trillion in debt. And when Clinton left office, granted that was a long time ago, we had a fucking surplus, which means somebody spent all of the money and then spent some
more.
extra money.
Hmm.
What is We are a laughing stock. I have to travel internationally in a few weeks. And this has happened two times. Once in Egypt, once in Germany. Um, Having to answer questions about American politicians from complete strangers makes my belly button itch. And I don't like it. And I
I
don't want to
refrain
have to
from
deal with
answering.
it.
I absolutely refrain from answering at this time.
It was one thing when Obama was in office, and it's like, all right, where are we going? Is this going racist or is it not going racist? And
Right.
having other people say, no, we like Obama, we think that's wonderful. It's about time because y'all know y'all don't elect women or black people. We were kind of looking at y'all crazy, but then y'all got a black person, y'all kind of treat them bad. But like, how do you feel about it? That was one thing. Um,
This,
when people go, so Donald Trump.
the soul part.
It's embarrassing. It was embarrassing
My
traveling
answer is literally going to be
international.
I'm on vacation. I'm
I'm
on vacation.
Canadian. I'm
I'm
from
I'm on
Toronto.
vacation. I left that country to go on vacation. Just to let you know what's going on. There's plenty of beaches
So
where
many.
in that country. There's plenty of resorts in that country. I
So
left
I
that
left.
country to go on vacation. I'm on vacation.
Yeah,
I'm on vacation. I'm
it
not
do-
here to talk.
it doesn't feel good, and
Ask me about books or something.
I'm not looking forward to doing it again. Especially with him
No.
being a felon now, and for this
Whole
race
ass
to be
felon.
the race is Donald Trump running for president
I
doesn't
don't
really
want to talk
bother
about it
me.
because I have anxiety around it. I just want to laugh
Right.
for a
Okay.
moment.
All right. Boom. We can
Like
move on.
I'm just going to be really transparent, like because like it is so flabbergasting to me, but not that y'all will really. It was all of this, like, well, if he's guilty, we'll let the American legal system figure it out. And now that the American legal system has figured it out, y'all like, not that way. No,
We
this is a
don't
shit.
like it.
Like it's exact. He went through the exact same process that every other person on trial goes through. There were no special exceptions. And it's just, are you for this country or are you for white supremacy? Because like let's just be real, like, and
The
people don't
two
want to
are
be that
kind of
transparent.
becoming synonymous to a lot of people. And I mean, it's always been that way. But in
Hmm.
the 90s and early 2000s, they were ashamed and they hid it better. Now they just
Yeah.
outside
There's
vocal
no
and got
shame.
Twitter. There is
They
bring
there's
back
no
shame.
shame. There's no shame. Y'all have no shame and y'all need to have shame. Um, because yeah, let this be the summer. Let's bring back shame.
Bring back shame. I keep
Let's bring it
saying it.
back. Let's make it stylish again to
Yes.
shame people. Like, ugh, you really so you think that's a good thing?
Yeah. White
So I'm like,
supremacy? You
if
bang with that. Wow.
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Let's play this game. Okay, this is a game. This is a bunch of hypotheticals. If Barack had one misdemeanor, not even a damn felony, do you know how fucking often we would have heard about that parking ticket that he forgot to pay or
Listen,
some other bullshit
we would never hear the fucking end of it.
about that tan suit, which it's not illegal to wear a tan suit. And he was going to a wedding afterwards. Like he came in to speak to y'all real. Y'all couldn't even get over yourselves because for one, that man looked immaculate. Like he's a little thin
He
for my
looked great.
taste, but like he looked immaculate. You know, I like them thick. Anyway,
Oh
moving
God.
on quickly. Um, moving on swiftly.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
yes. So the tan suit we didn't stop hearing about, like there was a whole bunch of things we just didn't like stop hearing about. This man at this point has 34 felonies. Now I want you to talk to some felons if you have some time this week. We all know some. Go ahead, go ahead, reach out. Ask them how their life has been since they got their felony. Ask them how their job opportunities have been since they got their felony. Ask them like what has like how life has transpired, and then put that next to the vision of what Donald Trump is doing. Because let me tell you something, his website crashed last night
Oh
after he
God.
got his felonies because so many people were rushing to donate. And I'm just trying to tell you, they care when it's convenient to them, but as
Hmm.
soon as it's inconvenient, oh, they don't care.
No,
It's
they don't give a
they
damn.
are very comfortable in their hypocrisy. So we need to be comfortable in our support of whomstever.
Whomstever.
That's I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
Um, we can get into more problematic people because he is ultimate problematic. And I actually have a problematic person. I'm going
I
to
want to
start.
hear it.
So, I guess Eminem is releasing new music.
Oh my God.
And
I
Eminem
heard
just
about this morning. Minding my
Eminem
black ass business.
decided in one of his songs to take a shot at Megan Thee Stallion. And the lyric was, if I was to ask Megan Thee Stallion if she would collab with me, would I really have a shot at a feat? Playing on words with the fact that Megan Thee Stallion
But
was shot in
badly.
her feet.
That's a bad play on word. It's not even like a good play on words.
Um,
That's not even good.
Mr. Mathers, sir,
I
you've
thought you were
been
doing better. We
we
just saw a video of you at your baby's wedding,
you
dancing
know
with your baby at her wedding. And now go ahead, I'm sorry. This
I
is your person.
probably shouldn't have expected better of you. Everybody is saying, the bar is fucking low
Hell. It's in hell.
for Eminem. But why insert yourself into something that's already been adjudicated? That woman was already a victim. And again, whether you believe Tori did it or not, she didn't shoot herself in the fucking foot.
Yeah.
So why a woman has endured an instance of domestic violence and you feel the need to, after you've separated yourself from making music about domestic violence and mocking domestic violence for damn near a decade now,
Mhm.
you circle back by attacking Megan? Like, one, the optics of Eminem attacking a black woman, I'm not even going to
I
sit
was going to
here.
go there. I
I'm
was going to go there.
My belly button already hurts. I don't want to fucking do it. But it just seems so unnecessary. It was a terrible bar for somebody who's been a wordsmith all his career.
Hmm.
It's just like you felt like taking a shot, like you were like, oh, you know what? Fuck
Hmm.
black women right now
Hmm.
and do it. Like you didn't even take a step back and go, maybe this isn't the person that I should be attacking. Why?
Why am I
Big
attacking
question mark.
anybody? Why can't I just rap?
I, I,
Why can't I just rap? Why can't I just why is it compulsive to have to do this? Like I don't understand.
I don't
I
get
don't
it,
understand.
but I don't like the looks of it. Eminem, keep black women's names out your mouth. Keep Megan Thee Stallion's name out your mouth. Find something better to do in your old age. You're way too fucking old for this. You're like 50. Knock it off, please.
Yeah.
Find something to do. But who
Yeah.
would you like to yell at? Oh yes, heavy sigh.
Sam Forster.
Okay,
Sam
what's Sam do?
Forster is a journalist from Quebec, Canada, who traveled around the United States to document racism here in the US. That's not the problem.
Mm,
That's not the problem at all. The problem is he decided to disguise himself, his words, not mine, in blackface to do so.
yes.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
It's not funny. It's
It
funny,
is.
but it ain't funny.
It is. It is. It is funny. I'm sorry. The more I think about it, the fucking funnier it gets. Think about it.
It's
Think. All right.
so
All right. All right.
infuriating.
Come on. Let's be the fly in the room. Let's act this out. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
all
Let's
right.
workshop this. Let's
Okay.
workshop this. Okay. I'm Sam Forrester. I'm gonna. I'm just saying.
Please don't.
You know what? That racism in America is such a fucking problem. How am I going as a journalist? How would I document it to talk about it? There's 40 million Black people in America. I could easily talk to a few of them, at least a few hundred.
Hmm.
Absolutely. A bunch of
Yeah.
people would love to speak to me about this. Now I'm gonna warm up this cork and just like get to work on
I'm
the
gonna make
blackface
my
of it
face
all.
black. Gonna go
I need
blackface.
pictures. I want to see the photographic evidence.
Mm-mm. I
I
don't.
want to see it.
The
It's come on, Rita. It's funny. It's
Whitney.
funny because
It
it's so
is, but it
fucking
ain't.
ridiculous. All right, let me tell you why it's funny. It's funny because Black people are gonna do what Black people do. First of all, we're gonna drag you. You're gonna get dragged and embarrassed regardless. But secondly, we have to make fun of this
We have
because
to.
it is a skit. It absolutely was a skit. I told Earl the other day, I said, what if now everybody walk with me.
What
Walk
if?
with me on a journey. Walk with me on a journey. What if this wasn't about a book at all? What if this was a low-key
Nope. Mm-mm.
film announcement by Jordan
No.
Peele on his next film?
Oh
Wouldn't
God.
wouldn't that be crazy?
Yes, but I would still be pissed. I would
I would give
still
him my
be
money.
upset.
No, because that takes thought. You thought this through. Because like now, like, first of all, the whole thing was ridiculous to begin with. But think about like the levels of audacity one has to take to say, I'm going to ignore every single Black person that could possibly speak to this issue and decide, nah, I gotta see for myself. So a few hours of being Black would tell you everything that a life would.
Yeah. It's amazing how this would. Let me try to be a little bit serious here.
Why?
You are concerned with the blackface, and you are concerned with his inability or unwillingness to actually have conversations with African Americans living in America.
Mhm.
What I believe pisses me off the most is
Oh
the
no, you're
fact
actually
that
there.
he had the audacity to come and tell us this shit. Like, at no point did he think they probably gonna fuck me up or beat my ass. And that's my problem with America and where we are right now because we are not punching enough fucking people in the face because no white man from Quebec, which is how they say it in Quebec, which is really weird to me, but no white man from Quebec should be allowed with an
Ugh.
unpunched face to put on a blackface and come through a U.S. border and maraud himself around as an African American man and then write and tell my black ass about that experience as if I do not fucking know it or understand it. You should have made sure that you only told this shit to white people in Quebec. There,
Why did
why
you
is
even do this to begin with? Like, who did you ask about this? Like, I want to see the friends who you like ran this by, and they were like, "Yeah, that's a great idea."
that part, Whitney? It's the audacity
Y'all don't
of
have no damn
you
community.
to dress up like a black person and tell
Cosplay.
black people how black people in America.
Hmm.
And your face has not been punched. Your teeth have not been kicked in. No one has stomped on you with a New York size 12 Timberland boot. This is egregious in
It is egregious.
so many fucking ways. Yet and still, he felt comfortable enough to come tell us about this shit. And his chin goes unchecked. And I have a problem with that.
Oh yeah, big problem. No, in all seriousness, like this is a massive problem, and it highlights the disparities that Black writers and Black authors face because, like, when you try to tell our stories, we're saying that we're being too racialized. Meanwhile, a white person can literally steal our stories from us. By how you fuck it? How you gonna fight racism using blackface?
I, come on, somebody. The face that you had would have been sufficient enough if you actually gave a fuck.
Sufficient enough. Sufficient enough. This is what I don't understand. Like with the folks that like Sam and Rachel Dolezal and the other list of all the other people who've like pretended to be Black, to like try to like fight racism. You don't have to. You in your white body, if you want to fight racism, is enough. I don't understand why you have to pretend. Also, why is this man fighting with the NAACP right now?
Because ain't
Because
nobody checked him yet. That's why.
he he tried to act like because the president, after, mind you, after he's done this experiment, he reached out to the president of the NAACP for some quotes. And the president of the NAACP left him on red. And he got real big mad at that because the NAACP also called him out on this and like, well, I thought your president would like have something to say. Here's my email copy. I'm like, of course, nobody will want to be part of this bullshit. That's the problem. You didn't listen to black people to begin with. You didn't listen to good sense and good reason. And now your good reads look like trash. Have you? Oh God, if you have a chance and you want to laugh, go on over to Amazon and Goodreads and look up Sam Forrester. Sam spelled normally Forrester, Forster, Seven Shoulders. I don't care what that means. It's an ugly ass cover. Go on over and look at the reviews if you want a
Child,
good ass chuckle. I'm done.
I
I'm done.
want this man to sit in a room full of black men and say that he did this shit to the face of 10 African American raised men. And I need at least 3 of them men to be from the Bronx, the Brooklyn, or the Queens. That's all we're going to
We need to take a break
we're going to take a break
because we're ready to punch the air.
and ask beg y'all for letters and we'll be right back. You know, we always love to hear from you at the Problematic Podcast. So if you have a problematic question or story, feel free to email us at TheProblematicPod@gmail.com, or now you can text us at 267-225-4648. Again, that's 267-225-4648. Standard messaging rates apply. We love to hear from you. Now let's get into today's problematic letters.
Wait.
Um,
So Rita
yes.
had some more on her heart. And as a loving church that we are, we're gonna open up the floor for testimonies. So we're
I'll keep it brief.
no, let it out, girl. Let it
I,
out.
I,
They
I
listen,
don't want to.
they listen to us every week. They
I'm
listen to us
trying to
every
protect.
week.
I'm also trying to protect my peace because there's a lot. It's turning out to be a great spring and it looks like a fantastic summer, but the fuckery and the foolishness is
Ooh,
not letting up.
thick.
I gotta say this for as good of a time that we have on the internet and on this podcast, it is not lost on me that more and more people are just playing in our black ass faces. And it's transitioned from it's been police brutality and us watching the murder of black men at the hands of police on TV in real time.
Mhm.
And then you had protests and then watching people in the comments section vilify these largely peaceful protests. And then you have a president with all of his dog whistles and the white
Lord help us.
supremacy clan coming back out and the tiki torches and the
Bullshit.
Nazi marches that are happening every fucking week. And
Mm-hmm.
then you
Mm-hmm.
have
Say it.
white Canadians who
Say
generally
it.
tend to be unproblematic,
Pretty chill people, from what I've
pretending to
experienced.
be black people so that you can mock our experiences under the guise of relating to our experiences.
Mm-hmm.
It's like somebody opened the floodgates on racism and white supremacy because I don't know, maybe the 90s and early 2000s were too peaceful or we were all getting to the one accord that racism is kind of whack and benefits no fucking body. Um, but it's the number of instances where people are playing in our face.
Mm-hmm.
Last week they announced that Major League Baseball, the MLB, would incorporate the Negro League stats into the MLB stats, the overall
Oh,
baseball stats.
that's
It was
good.
it. I
That's
thought so,
massive.
but let me tell you about the white people in the comments.
Oh shit.
They did not fucking approve. So ultimately, when you incorporate these statistics, a African American by the name of Josh Gibson has like the best batting stats and batting averages I've seen in just my 10 minutes of scrolling the comments before I couldn't take any fucking more. This is a ploy. We're trying to satisfy black people. These black players weren't as good. If they were as good, they would have integrated the league earlier. They weren't
That's
playing
not
against
true.
people who were actually competitive or good, so
That's not
these
true.
stats shouldn't count. They're trying to destroy good white legacy.
Good white legacy.
I can't make this shit up. For anybody who,
Wow.
if you take
Wow.
5 minutes to open one of the articles, which I thought was a huge step forward, I don't want to say I take it personally. My grandfather was a huge baseball fan. I am like the person who has like the Negro League hats and baseball jerseys. Like
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge fan of that era. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even love Major League Baseball that much, even though
Mm-hmm.
I went to a game this weekend.
I mean, they're fun.
But to see that institution of Negro baseball become what it became in a time where black people couldn't play Major League Baseball, and to have the notoriety and to have the organization and to like, I feel like it's not celebrated enough just
Mm-hmm.
as a part of African American history and black history in general. We literally had our own sports league and it was wildly successful
Mm-hmm.
until we integrated Major League Baseball. So to hear
They don't know shit.
mediocre ass white men who
Mm-hmm.
couldn't hit a baseball or kick a football or
Say
do
it.
shit
Say it. Say
try
it.
to disregard the accomplishments of African American athletes
Say it.
who should have a bigger name to me and amongst us is disgusting to me. And then, you have 70 years later, after this league had been established and was successful, you have 70 years later, a Canadian running around pretending to be black. We don't need his story because we literally have these stories
We have
from
them.
1942 and up.
We have the stories.
I know I'm ranting, but it
You're
just
not
like,
ranting.
how long do y'all get to play in our face without not us punching y'all in yours? All right, I'm done.
You're
I want
not.
to talk about
Nope. No,
happy
no,
stuff.
no.
I
You
want
know,
to talk about happy stuff, Whitney, because it's
you're
pissing
not
me
wrong.
off.
No, no, and
How dare
we're
an
allowed to be
overweight
pissed off.
man from Omaha say that these stats don't count? Who the fuck are you?
It's something about that audacity. It's that it's that entitlement, it's that privilege, it's that audacity to be able to look at the accomplishments of a people and say that they are nothing and have that comment hold weight.
Right.
Because let us walk up to even the most mediocre of white men and tell them that they are in fact mediocre,
Just
which could
mediocre. Just run of
yeah,
the
just
mill
mediocre.
ass people.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get cussed out left, right, and sideways and made to feel like we are the fools, like we are wrong. It's something about that privilege. It's something about that lie that they've been told. So the lie that we were told was that we were nothing. The lie that they were told is that they were everything. And that's why when we talk about like black excellence, it's always in comparison. Well, when we talk about black excellence, we're literally just talking about us.
Right.
Folks want to demean black excellence, and then juxtapose it to white mediocrity. And
And it's disgusting. And I
that's
think
the
that's
entitlement.
the irk for
That's the
me.
entitlement. That's the entitlement. Because what y'all don't realize is y'all kept calling us lazy since we stopped working for free.
Right.
And then on the flip side, in black homes, how many of us finish the phrase, everybody? You have to work twice
Twice
as
as
hard.
hard for half as much.
So many of us were raised on that phrase. So many of us were raised to believe that we have to work hard. And a lot of us are standing around looking at the fruits of our labor because we were told we had to work as hard. And y'all out here calling us DEI hires. Can't even fucking spell hire. Can we get into that? Let me have a grammar moment.
Go for
Hire
it.
as in hire as in going up, going higher is HIGHER. That's hire. That's not the hire for getting work. That's HIRE, you dumb bitch. Please, if you're going to insult people, do it correctly. Do it in the language that you forced us to fucking learn. sick of the shit. I am
I'm so tired.
exhausted.
It's exhausting, and I feel like there is an uptick, and there's been an uptick, unfortunately, since I can't blame it on Donald Trump, but there's been an uptick
Oh, they got
since
comfortable.
they got they what that happened was I believe that people got upset when they saw an African American president be successful at being president because
Lost their minds.
it didn't match the narrative, the
Mm-hmm.
decades old, the
Mm-hmm.
centuries old narrative that we as a people cannot excel in these ways. Our families cannot look the way the Obama family looked. Our career paths can't look the way Barack Obama and Michelle Obama's career paths look.
Mm-hmm.
And everything about that one family broke a lot of stereotypes and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
narratives that people had ingrained in themselves.
And a
And
lot of brains.
when
Mm-hmm.
there is a conflict of your consciousness, when there is a conflict of your values, of everything that you believe, you lash out in anger. And I think
Yeah.
that's what allowed Orange Glow to be elected.
Not Orange Glow.
Orange Glow. I call him Mango Habanero Hitler, and then somebody pull my coattail and be like, he couldn't be as vile as Hitler if he tried, and they were absolutely correct. So I stopped using that phrase
Mm.
because he's too much of a fucking idiot, and that's not me giving credence or any sort
No, no,
of.
no, no. We know what you're
I'm
saying.
not
He's dumb as
elevating
hell.
Hitler in any way,
No, Hitler was a
but
monster, but Donald Trump is
right,
dumb as hell. Yeah.
right, and not a politician.
No.
Um, so I see the connect. I see how it's been getting worse. But I want to take this positive moment to say just shout out to all of the families of those Major League Baseball players because
Mm-hmm.
I've had the opportunity to see a lot of their children because most of them are no longer with us, given the fact that
Mm-hmm.
that league was again was something that was happening during WW2.
Yeah.
Um, Seeing their families, their sons, their daughters, their grandchildren, being able to celebrate their family members' accomplishments in
Mm-hmm.
this very, I consider it a quiet part of history,
Mm-hmm.
or a very niche part of history. But
Mm-hmm.
I hope that with these stats being incorporated, more and more sports fans will start to celebrate what that league meant to us as just citizens of this country and just as Black
Mm-hmm.
Americans in general. I feel like for Juneteenth we should all wear black Negro League jerseys, but
Don't
that's
play
just
with
me.
me.
That's what I'll be doing.
Don't play
But
with me. Don't
um
play with me.
just I'm just saying, I thought it was a big deal.
It
But
is a big deal. It's an extraordinarily big deal. And I hope that you know that just your passion about it, but also your knowledge about it has really educated me. Because
oh
I don't like the sports.
no,
I
and
don't
I
like the
get it.
sports.
I
But
get it.
I love us. I love us. I love how we are very much through it all. And you know, in spite of, despite of, like, I
Hmm.
love how we find joy and we find liberation and we find healing and we find happiness in spite of it all. So that's like one of those stories. And I love that type of stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, you're
it's
fine. This is a safe place.
oh thank you, friend. I've got a problematic letter from a young man.
Man,
Yes, a
thrown
young
into
man.
this ghetto show. I'm just kidding.
Yes. Can you give this young man a name?
The annual.
One more time.
The annual.
You are. Okay. The annual ropes. I left a very unhealthy relationship in October and moved back in with my mom and steppop. My real dad promised to help me get my own apartment and said he would give me the money for my birthday in March. In January, I asked him how much he would give me so that I could have an idea of how much more I needed to save and where to apartment hunt. And he had a little attitude about the question. Long story really short, my birthday came and I didn't hear from him. No happy birthday, no card, no help.
Damn.
My stepdad stepped up, helped me move, got me a couch, and has been very supportive. My real dad invited me to a cookout for the holiday, and I didn't go. My mom thinks I should pretend it never happened because I got everything I needed, but I still feel very disappointed, and I'm okay with no longer speaking to my dad.
Was there a question?
No question. Just a
You just want to
story.
get that off your chest. That's fine.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
this is a safe space where you can yell about those things. That's fine. Uh, no question though. So
No
how do I
question.
answer?
Um, Daniel, I'll say this. Your feelings are valid.
Extraordinarily.
Um,
Yes.
I hate the fact, and we've mentioned it a few times
Mm-hmm.
with these letters. Money just seems to
Mm-hmm.
tear away at what would otherwise be good, healthy relationships. I don't know what about that question, asking your father how much he was willing to contribute. I don't know what about that question made him feel icky or gross. I know, some people culturally, you don't ask questions like that. You don't,
Yeah.
whatever help he wanted to give you was whatever help he wanted to give you. So I
Right.
kind of understand that dynamic in a sense, but as a young man who's trying to budget and prepare for moving out on his
Yes.
own, I
Yeah.
don't think your question was unreasonable. Now, how he handled it, I
Yep.
don't know. I feel like a son should be able to ask their father, "Hey, could you tell me how much you're going to help me with so that I can get an idea of like,
You're being
mom's
responsible.
mom's going to give me this, dad's going to give me this, stepdad's going to give me this, I'm going to
Right.
save this and this is what I can afford."
Right.
Um Not
That's
hearing from your
responsible.
dad on your birthday was the thing for me. You ain't had to give me no money, but
You don't have to
you don't.
like ghost me either.
Oh, it's my birthday.
My whole birthday.
It's my whole ass birthday.
The day
Like
you
you,
became a dad.
I,
So
I know there's no question here, but if you were looking for somebody to validate your feelings,
we
baby,
are
that's
validating
it.
him. Heavy.
Because I
Hmm.
don't understand how you have a birthday and your daddy just
Nothing? Like not a
nothing.
card, not a like quick text, like a hey, uh, you all right? Like nothing.
And not because you asked him for money, which it's your parent, I don't think it should. But I know that asking people for money can offend them. I get that. There's a dynamic out there somewhere in the world.
Some people.
But this is something that from what you described, he offered.
Uh, okay. Out of nowhere.
I'm not understanding where dad's attitude was. I don't know if he's been like this often. I don't have the backstory. I don't know what the relationship looks like. But not wanting to go to a cookout after you didn't wish me a happy birthday is
Mm-mm.
not
That's the least. Least.
like March that came and went.
Yeah. It's June.
It damn near might as well
June.
be Christmas. Might
Not all
as
the way to
well
end
be
of the year.
Christmas. It is we
Oh
are
God.
somebody made a post that was like we are 77 days away from spooky season and I was like, bitch, that's the kind of countdown I want to be a
Oh
part of.
yes, because
Come
I don't know
bring
why that
it.
just made my heart so happy. And I don't even like scary stuff. But I am a sweater, big ass bug.
Cardigan, yes.
I can't wait to go. Oh, I can't wait to take that kid to the pumpkin patch. And she's older now, so we can actually do stuff. This is
It's
great. Oh, I'm
listen.
excited.
I look forward to fall like I used to. Like, I'm a summer baby. I'm a Leo. I love the summer months.
You
But
do.
it's nice to be excited about summer and then be
Eh,
super excited about fall too.
It's like right after.
Right at they put
Boom
them
boom.
bang right together. It's a beautiful thing. We got off
Hmm.
track, way off track.
Way off track. Sorry, friend.
The annual.
Sorry, Theodore.
I know you didn't ask us a question and it looks like you were just venting.
And that's fine.
But
We
yeah,
allow for that.
I will say I understand the part where it says my mom thinks I should pretend it never happened because I got everything I needed. I don't agree with your mother
I
there.
strongly disagree.
I feel like moms try to keep the
Strongly.
peace, and I think they do that because they picked your dad. So I think there's a underlying, I think there's a smidgen of guilt in those statements of like, I am the
Yeah.
parent who's stepping up, but I've also picked a parent for you who's not. I think that that element exists. I don't think
Ouch.
that moms will admit that sometimes. Not just
Ouch.
moms, because dads also
Dad's
with
also,
this
yeah.
dynamic, but it's like I had a responsibility in picking your parent. I played a part in picking
I
your
did this
parent.
to
I
you.
I don't control what he does, but I understand that now you have to put up with this person
I
that I
did this
picked.
to you.
Um I don't agree with your mother's take, but I also understand why mothers do that.
Hmm.
Um yes, you got everything that you needed, and yes, they looked out for you. But I
But
don't agree with your mother that you should just forget about it. I
no,
think that there should be a comprehensive conversation that you have with your father. But if now ain't the time, then now ain't
that's
the
fine.
time.
When
Do
you're
it.
ready.
Do it at Thanksgiving and make things real awkward and interesting, and then write us back and tell us
Yes,
about it.
we want to hear about that. I want to hear about like how the mac and cheese got tossed in the air. I want to hear.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if you've talked to your father since this incident or what, but I would ask a very poignant question. Like you said you were going to help
Yeah.
and you didn't. Did I do something that offended you? Like,
Hmm.
where did we go wrong? Because, I don't care how old you are, if you're an adult or if you're a child, you don't make promises to your children and then
Don't.
let them down.
Just
Because I
don't.
feel like
Don't fucking do that shit.
that disappointment feels the same at 7 as it does at 27. And I
Yeah,
don't care
don't
what
do that
nobody
shit.
says. I just, Nathaniel,
May
oh,
I?
yeah.
Because as you were talking, I was thinking about the money issue, and I'm like, it's like you were saying, I feel like it's less about the money issue and it's more about your word issue.
Mhm.
Like you as my parent gave me your word that you would do something. Asking about the amount of money, yeah, some people find it icky, but if you don't look at that as a proud parent and say, "Oh, my baby's learning to be responsible." That's a
Mhm.
responsibility thing because you want to make sure that you're not in a situation that that you can't fund, that you
Right.
can't support. That's a smart thing. And that's nothing to be offended about by. It's just like, okay, like let's just talk numbers. Let's sit down. Let's like have this conversation. You're an adult and you're thinking like an adult, and that's a good thing. So I don't want you to feel icky about that either. It's not like you rolled up on this house and be like, hey, give me my inheritance and die. Like you didn't
Right.
say that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, but it has everything to do with the word of your parent. Um, and so like if he said he's going to give you money, like let's talk how much because like $100 is different from $1,000 is
It
different from
sure
ten
is.
thousand dollars.
Yes.
So like let's be really transparent. Let's be real about these things. But also as a person who unfortunately has a lot of experience with this particular thing, I, I didn't speak to my father after what happened with us for backstory. We were planning our wedding and he made a big promise to help. And then my husband's family with the number that my dad gave, my husband's family matched it. And then my dad backed out in a really very painful way. And my uncle actually had to step up to cover that. Which is great. It's great that I had my uncle because like what the hell would we have done otherwise? Um, and we didn't speak for God till my daughter was born.
Mm.
So it was like literally from the wedding to when my daughter was born. Um, and the only reason we spoke was because my daughter
Was
was
born.
born. Um, like there's some other issues there that we could talk about. There's some history there that we could talk about at another time. But suffice it to say, like this, it was a very painful thing. It wasn't about the money itself, it was about your word. You gave me your word, and as your daughter, I trusted you with your it could have been for anything. It could have been for anything. A school trip, it
Right.
could have been for a birthday. It could have been
You allowed me to rely on you, which is a
hello.
huge area of vulnerability.
Yeah.
And then you violated that vulnerability.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And that's really truly painful. And I want us to do better. I want us to do
Please.
better. So anyway, Thean, you're not in the wrong. For we're validating your feelings. And I want you not to feel bad about any decisions that you make. I want you to take the time to like really process what it is for you. And please write us back because we want to
Yeah.
hear the follow up.
Yeah, to echo Whitney's point, I read your message, and I would encourage you, like Whitney said, to explore what we think hurt us about a situation and what actually hurt us about a
Yeah,
situation can sometimes be two totally different things.
sometimes.
I learned
Hmm.
that in therapy. So
Yeah.
just take a moment or a few months to explore what part left you disappointed or hurt.
Hmm.
And then when you have a conversation with your father, if you choose to have a conversation with your father, which I would encourage,
Yeah.
um, make sure that you have a good understanding of your feelings before, because it's
Hmm.
easy to go in raw and not understand your feelings and
Don't
get
do that.
tripped up and
Don't do
say the
that.
wrong things. I feel like when you're coming from not necessarily a healed place, but a place of understanding of your
Yeah.
feelings, you have a much better, more comprehensive conversation, and it's a lot harder to trigger you
Yeah.
once you have that conversation.
Right.
So, Daniel, I hope you have a great ass summer. I know you got your own
Yeah.
place. I'm sure you're having a great time.
Turn up. Have a lovely time. Don't forget your Negro Leagues shirt,
And please write back to us.
please. That's all.
Uh, that's all we got,
That's all
ladies
I
and
got.
gentlemen. Please don't let these people play in your face. Please have a
No.
happy, healthy, and productive week. Juneteenth will be here before
Hmm.
you know it. Happy Pride to everybody who celebrates, and
Hey, fan clack, fan clack.
yay! You guys have a great week.
Bye.